So, suppose this is my first day as, well, self-imposed ruler of this land. Well, I suppose that somebody has to do it, and I'd rather it be me. A follow-up? Is that a screaming goat in here? So there is. Why is there a screaming goat? I'm just going to leave that alone. That is clearly not for me. Regardless, it is still nice to walk around the palace just to take in the sights. It's a gorgeous place. Deep really outdid himself on the construction of this palace, and of course I did a wonderful job with the interior design. But you have a keen eye for this sort of stuff. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. What? Why do you have live bees? I'm not going to question the Enderfolk on their living choices. I'm just not. Suppose that the spirits are just as concerned about the live bees as I am. Which, fair, honestly. Why are there live bees in the palace exactly? Oh. This is an interesting setup. Is this how they live? I'm just going to let them be. I suppose I should head on down to the throne room so I can meet up with the cursebreaker, who had just texted me saying that they would like to meet up. So, as it is my royal duty, I shall sit in my throne and await their arrival. I never liked doing this back home either. Well, I suppose that I can just talk to you guys. It's not much, but sitting on a throne is so boring. But that is the life of a prince, or I suppose a king, if I am to... if I have been promoted, as it is, to king in this realm. Hello, spirits. Hello. Oh, well, thank you. King Lux does have a good ring to it. Just think about it as King Lux Lumina Demonus. It's a wonderful name. It's a wonderful name. Oh, I believe that's them. Well, they are the only other person here at the moment, so I suppose there's nobody else that it could be, so I shall sit and wait for them to arrive. Thank you, spirits, thank you. I will always look my best. At any point. And underneath my crown, I have a backup crown. Just to look fancy. But my actual physical crown has, water protection. Oh, I suppose I should.
Good. Let's hope I can remember where the throne room is.
It's upstairs.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
Of course. Welcome to the palace.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Is there a staircase?
Yes, it was at the entrance. Well,
Ah, I see. I've. Oh, there it is. I'm not used to the. It's been a while since I've navigated anything nether block colored.
Fair enough, but also stairs should be easy enough to spot. Cursebreaker? Cursebreaker.
Yes.
Do you need help getting up the stairs?
No, I found the staircase. Thank you, Your Majesty. Throne room. There we are.
You may enter.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
I've brought gifts. I've brought tribute.
Oh, wonderful.
As befits a new king. So, give me a sec. On the bone path, it's customary for curse breakers to present tribute to new lords and kings and monarchs.
Oh, well, how lovely.
Oh, nope, that's not where I wanted that to go.
How exactly do you make a chest float? Is this your Cursebreaker magic?
It's bits and pieces of it. I don't always. Sometimes sometimes I mix things up.
I see.
It's customary to present a story. And any sort of resources that we have. So I've penned something of something from the bone paths.
Oh, well, this is lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I'm always happy to provide more. I keep a chest in the waypoint stocked with potions, but you're always welcome to request more from me.
Oh, of course.
I'm here to serve.
That would be lovely to stock up the bar in that direction. There's currently just water and mundane potions.
It'll be good to have the war chest stocked.
Oh, absolutely. May I read this?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if it's...
it's 22 pages long.
Yeah, it might be something to peruse.
Perhaps. I will read this in my spare time.
At your leisure.
Yes.
It's a variant on a cautionary tale.
I see. Well, Cursebreaker, it is very nice and very generous of you to deliver these gifts onto me.
You're welcome. It's what's owed to a monarch.
Of course. I'm glad that at least somebody here respects my authority. I got the impression that not a lot of people were very happy about me stepping up to the throne after what happened a while ago.
You mean the incident in the vault, or before that?
Yes, the incident in the vault, but also not a lot of people like or respect me, which bullshit, honestly. What's not to respect about me?
Well, Your Majesty, I think a factor of it may have to do with not all of us come from places that respect titles in general. I mean, I do. We had many lords and such on the bone paths, but it seems like not every world has monarchy.
It appears so. The Nether did have quite a lot of monarchies, both in the past and the present, and of course I am heir to the throne in my own kingdom.
Of course. What was your kingdom like? What is your kingdom like?
Well, my kingdom back home, it's quite bright. For those who are unaccustomed to living in the Nether would not exactly appreciate the amount of fire and light that is always there, but for someone like me, it's very nice to just look at. It's, the citizens are, there's plenty of them, definitely. And as I was the prince there, I had to learn to corral all of them so that nothing bad would happen from either outside threats or internal threats.
Corral all of them?
Well, my father was not very liked, so sometimes there would be rebellions afoot.
I see. Do you think do you think that you look for do you think that you're looking for rebellions here out of instinct?
I do not want rebellions, in the fact that I will be a better ruler than my father was.
I respect that. It's a tricky thing being the heir to power like that.
Yes, it had a quite it had quite a lot of responsibilities being on a throne. At such a young age, I had to take over since my father is, well, let's call it on death's door. He's not doing great at the moment, and I shudder to think of what's going on with the kingdom without me there.
Happened to him.
But of course, since we cannot currently access the Nether, there's not really any way to check. Although I would love to go home as soon as possible.
No, it seems I don't know. I've done a lot of research and I've yet to figure out anything concrete other than the pieces of our worlds that are in the void shafts.
Quite, the Void Village has a lot of things in it.
Does you found a watchtower,
Yes,
didn't
we
you?
did find one of our watchtowers, specifically.
From your kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I found a waypoint from the bone paths as well.
Hmm. Quite interesting. Why would the Void tear apart part of my kingdom and also part of your land? They had no relation to each other, correct?
No.
Hmm.
The thought crossed my mind that it's possible that it was all destroyed. Anything outside of Haven. And that
I
this is all that's left.
I do not want to entertain that thought.
You may not want to, but it could be true. And if it is true, that puts a lot more responsibility on your shoulders.
Suppose that does. But with no real way to, you know, prove that, currently all that's left is a watchtower.
The watchtower. It's a possibility.
It is.
It's operating under an assumption like that while still seeking ways and opportunities to. I mean, if we can access the nether, if we can access your nether, that's proof that we can access more places. And I'd be very, very willing to put anything behind efforts like that. But operating under the assumption that we're all that's left, while hoping that we're not, might be wise for preservation, survival,
Hmm. I see.
carrying forth what's important.
Suppose it is.
That's part of why I sought audience with you today. I wanted to ask respectfully what sort of king you want to be, what sort of what sort of kingdom you see Haven as,
I want to
and
see
how.
this place as, well, pardon the pun in the name, but a safe haven. I want this place to not end up like my kingdom back home.
It to be better.
Yes, my father was a tyrant, and the kingdom suffered greatly because of it. I do not want to repeat the mistakes of the past.
It's honorable.
I want to make this kingdom far better than what was back home. Since I'm still
How do you
trying to.
define? How do you define a tyrant, Your Majesty? What makes a tyrant?
What makes a tyrant is the ability to take what you want by force and by power and by violence. If you take hold of the throne through less than moral means, by killing, by committing genocide, that's not the mark of a true leader. That's the mark of, a murderer, really.
I agree. So those are the actions that you'll avoid.
I do not want to rule this place in fear. I want people to actually want to live in the kingdom.
I respect that.
Speaking of which, could you perhaps bounce off an idea that I had for naming this kingdom?
Of course.
I was thinking along the lines of Elysium.
Elysium. Elysium.
Yes.
It strikes some sort of memory with me, but I'm not. I feel like I might have read
Elysium
books, maybe?
I'm sorry?
In books, maybe, but I don't know I haven't heard it before. I can't call to mind the definition.
Elysium is a belief in the minds of many Netherfolk that it is the hero's afterlife. When you die, you go to Elysium if you were exceptionally good in life. It is good there. It is wonderful there. It is a place that you want to get to.
It's a place of gold.
It is.
I remember now. Inred was always better at the Nether than I was, but they spoke. My cursebreakers usually live in pairs. Inred was my partner before Haven.
I see.
When we had to navigate the Nether, they were the one who spoke the language, who traded with the Piglin folk and harvested Netherwort. I was mostly. It wasn't my forte, but I appreciated what they knew of it.
I see. Well, it is still good to have some knowledge of the Nether.
It is. I think Elysium. I like Elysium.
Thank you. I'll still have to bounce it around with some other people, toss it out to the kingdom itself to see what they think. It's a working title,
You're hoping that we're heroes here.
Even if we aren't now, I'm hoping that through Elysium we will be.
It's aspirational.
Yes.
Would you mind? Maybe we could take a walk and you could tell me about what you see for the kingdom.
Oh, sure. I would love to.
Thinking, or an idea that I had was, we come from so many different places. There's so many stories, so much knowledge, and so many traditions. Maybe we could share some of them at some point, have some sort of festival.
Oh, I would simply love that. See, Advisor Deep also said something about a festival. But something to bring the kingdom together would be quite lovely. It would show that I'm actually paying attention to the citizens of this kingdom, that I'm hearing them out,
I agree. Give them a chance to meet their king.
Exactly. Well, most of them have already met me, but, you know.
Meet you as the king.
True, you have a point there.
Different when you take on a title, at least in my experience. Knowing someone, are you okay in the rain?
Yes, I have special enchantments on my armor.
Good.
This crown is
Knowing someone
magical.
as it's impressive. Did Sleep make it?
Yes, he did.
Not surprised.
He's quite adept at enchantments. I used to dabble
Is he?
myself.
Really?
Um,
Uh,
I have a feeling we're not
Bikini
supposed.
Quackity was here.
Who the fuck is Bikini Quackity?
I can't. I think I've glimpsed this gentleman before, maybe, but we've never been formally introduced.
I saw this sign on my throne before I took it down. Who was Bikini Quackity?
Well, that's a bit disrespectful. No respect for a monarch, I
No
suppose.
fucking respect. This is ridiculous.
Rebellion's already brewing, Your Majesty.
I don't know. Let's just leave that alone for now, shall we?
I suppose we must. For all of our sanities.
Quite. Oh, is that new?
Oh, yes, it's I've been working on it. It's a garden. Me and August started it. It's for moth while they're away.
I see. It's nice. What is this?
It's amethyst.
Amethyst.
The stars gave it to me.
It's a very lovely color.
Thank you. I suppose we're down our supply of it now that Stars' house is gone.
Ah, yes, about that. That's quite a tragedy.
It is.
At least they have a home up in the manor, if anything else.
That's good.
Also, I believe the spirits are upset about Bikini Quackity.
It seems quite an upsetting topic.
It does look like an upsetting topic. They called them anarchists. Anarchists, yes.
Oh, well, it's true. The first rebellion, it really is brewing.
Oh no, I'll have to deal with this somehow. I wonder how I could deal with this.
Ban beaches.
We don't have any beaches here.
That's true.
There's not even any lava.
It's a lava? Oh, I suppose nether beaches.
Yes. You know, the beach is made of gravel and lava.
You know, I haven't spent most of the time I've spent on those. I've been trying not to die.
You should have less sensitive skin.
Well, I mean, I can brew potions of fire resistance, but
that also works.
I can't change the nature of my existence. Well, I can't change it to that degree.
It's all right. The piglins back home also cannot stand the heat.
It's dangerous to live in that environment.
It is dangerous if you're not a demon. But interestingly enough, piglins can be hurt by lava, but not zombie piglins. I'm not entirely sure how that works.
Interesting.
Why is this one yellow?
It's a rare variant.
A shiny version.
Collectible. Shiny versions. Shiny Bikini Quackity.
We should leave shiny Bikini Quackity up here. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah. For the dignity.
Of course, yes.
For the collector's value.
I just have to clear it up around, Sleep's home.
Of course. Wouldn't want to give him another headache.
Wait. There's stuff on the roof!
Oh! How did they get up there?
How did they get up there?
Is Bikini Quackity winged?
I don't know. How did they even get up there?
Persistence in the name of anarchy.
I suppose so. Oh my god, there's... There's more inside! What?
You're quite alright.
What is going on here?
Oh, it was another shiny.
It was another shiny one, but it didn't say Bikini Quackity was here.
What did it say?
This one's... It said, like... And Purple Man helped or something like that? I don't... How did they get up there? What?
They must be capable of flight.
There's no other...
Or I suppose they could have towered up.
I suppose. Let's just get out of here.
I hate Sleep's ladder. I hate Sleep's ladder so
It's
much.
a wonderful ladder. Don't... What's wrong with it?
There we go. It's just, it's a little bit narrow. I have a hard time getting down it. How is Sleep? Have you seen him?
I've seen him around. He's been doing, advisor duties.
Of course. He seemed quite, injured the last time in the vault.
Yes, he fought bravely against Cain and Anathema, but, it's hard to do so when you get a crack in your skull.
True.
I believe there's an infestation.
Oh, I
What?
Cleanup duty.
This is my first act as king. I'm going to make sure the Bikini Quackity does not infest any more homes.
It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Suppose so.
An ignoble job. Thank you, Inred. On
the topic of... Sorry?
No, you go.
On the topic of festivals and whatnot, the spirits have been recently recommending a masquerade.
A masquerade?
Mm-hmm.
That's like a party that the nobility holds, isn't it?
Yes, it is a masked ball where you, simply dance around in the ballroom with masks on and, fancy dresses and costumes and such.
Sounds like
Nobility
fun.
often hold those. I believe you might also be Bikini Quackadied.
I have been Bikini Quackadied.
Bikini.
Bikini. I'm unfamiliar with this word.
Well, if it's any consolation, I have 14 signs now. I can really talk to people now.
Flashcards. I'm gonna toss them into my sign box.
Oh, so it is.
This is the... Have you ever been in the Waypoint, actually?
I do not remember.
It's, this is my Waypoint. This is... Cursebreakers build structures like this on the bone paths to their shelters, for anyone who happens to be caught at night. And they usually have resources, supplies. This one is more... it's less practical, I suppose, but I built it to have a place where people can pick up potions and put memories of their homeworld on the walls.
I see.
So that we could hold on to where we came from and share information.
This structure is made entirely out of bones.
It is.
Whose bones exactly are these?
Oh, well, I found a couple creatures. Actually, Oz found some old bone structures in a desert. And other than that, I've been collecting them I've been grinding bone meal, and basically any scrap of bone that I find on the server went into building this.
I see, so from skeletons.
Yeah, skeletons and creatures. Not, nobody living's bones.
Yes. Is there supposed to be a gap up there?
Uh, oh, no, it looks like something.
Oh dear.
Either somebody took one of my bone blocks or I missed a spot. Do I have? See if I can fix that real quick. But yeah, we use bone to it defends against the things that go bump in the night. If a building is made out of some things that were once living, it can have a kind of life to protect its inhabitants. Or that's what the common belief is.
I see.
And you give it life by.
Ow!
Oops, I'm so sorry, Your Majesty.
How dare you!
Sorry. Sorry,
You're lucky that I don't catch fire.
You are. It is. It's true. Well, see, this is it's enchanted only to smite evil.
The undead.
And you're not, so
Of course,
I
I'm not
suppose it
evil.
proves it.
If it has smite on it, it's not going to work on a demon. It only works on those that are undead. There's nothing that works on a demon like this.
What? I've never. You're the first demon that I've met.
Really?
No, I've never never had any contact with any others.
Well,
I've heard stories.
We are quite reclusive. We don't exactly advertise ourselves to the main masses, and most of us don't typically leave the Nether, if only for like specific travels or important missions.
That makes sense.
Or of course if we're summoned, but that's a whole other deal.
No reason to leave the Nether. Oh wait, so you could be summoned.
Yes, of course. Any demon can be summoned.
Fascinating. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like children's stories.
Well, most people would like to believe that they're children's stories, but every demon, well, think about it this way. Human beings have fingerprints. Demons have sigils. Same principle.
And with the sigil you could summon.
Yes. Lower demons have very simple sigils, circles, a couple of candles, some burning incense, stuff like that. Simple baby stuff. More powerful and wealthy demons have more complex sigils, because the more powerful a demon is, the more difficult it should be to summon them, as common sense would lead you to believe.
So your symbol is complicated.
It is. It's quite complicated, and I would, not rather share it, because obviously that's extremely personal and private information.
Like giving someone your name, your true name.
Less than that, it's giving away your soul, basically.
Really?
Giving somebody your summoning sigil is essentially bearing your soul. It is the truest measure of trust that you can give someone.
If you give it to them, they can always summon you. They can, if they're in danger or...
Well, in a way. It's more of a sense of like, I can give you my sigil because I trust you not to use it against me.
Right. Interesting. Makes sense. Have you ever given your sigil to anyone?
No, of course not.
So you never trusted anyone that much?
Well, of course my father knew, obviously, as my mother, but I never gave it away to anyone. It's not that
it would be a dangerous thing.
It would be a dangerous thing. I am a member of the royal family. Having a sigil of the royal family is very dangerous stuff. I don't just give it away to people.
Does Sleep know it?
No, not yet.
Seems pertinent.
It does. If it ever comes up, I trust him. Don't get me wrong, I do trust him, but A sigil is a completely different level of trust. It's extremely personal.
Of course. Uh, cursebreakers, we come in pairs.
Hmm.
We bind ourselves together in ways in we share a life in a way. I imagine it's like that. Something innate to your being.
Yes, it is something like that. Yeah.
I like the idea of a masquerade.
Do you? I have been thinking about it for the past, few minutes since the spirits recommended it to me. I do quite like the idea.
Tradition on the bone paths when it's difficult to tell the seasons here, or more difficult than it was there, but there's a tradition at the beginning of summer when the longest day of the year,
The
where we
solstice.
would, the solstice, yeah, where we would build a huge fire um, and sit around it. And there was a sort of game that the children would play where you'd a look for pieces of, oh, what did they call them? Nether gold, actually.
Oh,
Um, but we'd paint rocks and hide them, places for the kids.
oh,
And then we'd sit around the campfire and tell stories until the last of the light faded on the longest
oh.
day of